Okay, I'm skipping part of this because we just talked about a lot of these things in class already. There's a quote I want to share with you though. And this is from Child Guidance, page 355. It says, when children reach a suitable age, they should be provided with tools. Okay, it kind of emphasizes the importance of equipment there as we talked about. Again, when children reach a suitable age, they should be provided with tools. Now, a lot of us, unfortunately, have reached adulthood and we were never provided with tools. Okay, so we need to provide ourselves with these things. Just take responsibility there. All right, what we're going to do basically for this class.
What's a suitable age?
Well, that it depends on the child and depends on their level of maturity, and it depends on the tool.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of variables there. Just pray for wisdom. What we're going to basically do for this class is we're going to set up one of those canvas wall tents with the wood stove and stove jack like we talked about. As we do this, I want you to keep in mind three things. Number one is don't compare this with your home. Okay, compare this with where you would be staying if you had to flee now.
Into the country, not the wilderness.
Yeah, and this is not wilderness, this is country. Right, country living. Okay, most of the people, other thing to keep in mind, most of the people that have lived on planet Earth have lived in a one-room home. I mean, just statistically across the board throughout history. And number three, this is probably the most important one here. Everything that we're demonstrating here would be the same with a cabin. Okay, so like this, there isn't anything special about the tent, although it is portable. It's like when I first envisioned doing this demonstration, I thought of like building a little cabin on a trailer. That one wall would fold up and you could kind of, use that to demonstrate. Well, that never happened. God knew better. But the tent, is way more portable, shows the same things. So, I mean, it's what the features here I'm demonstrating as much as the tent itself. Already mentioned that these kind of tents were common back before the 1930s, more or less. And one other thing is, I want to compare this, we touched on it but didn't talk about it, is the difference between the canvas tents and synthetics tents. Okay, like the synthetic tents that's typically on the market now, how long would those last if they were set up and under continuous use?
A year.
6 years.
Yeah, it's just a matter of months. Usually it's like 3 or 4 months. I mean, depending on the quality of the materials. You look at the different homeless people that are living in those tents, almost all of them have a tarp over the top. That lets me know that that tent isn't adequate. Okay? On the other hand, canvas wall tents, under continuous use, you can expect life expectancy in the ballpark of 20 years. Okay, so I mean, they'll last a lot longer. Yes, they cost more, but it's a much more long-term investment.
What does the military do with their old tent walls?
Once in a while you can get a hold of those, but the military is like a big organization with a lot of people, and so theirs are pretty large, maybe larger than what you want to mess with, okay? And we'll talk more about that as we get into this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get the tent set up. A lot of different people use these same tents for a lot of different things, and so there's different ways to do stuff, and we'll be talking about that because we want to be able to ours is portable. That's what we want it for, something that's portable. And so we have a frame that goes with it. If you were setting up in a more semi-permanent situation, you could put it on a wood platform right away with a wood frame, which would be cheaper, a little bit. But that wouldn't be so portable that way, okay? So this system, it's because we're portable. These are called angles, okay? And so when you buy your tent, you would probably order an angle kit with it if you're doing the portable thing. If you're setting it up on your property with a wood frame and everything, then you wouldn't buy these with it. Okay? You want to?
Where do you want to put it at?
We'll set it up. Let's go ahead and put the door this way, I guess. And so like the front door will be right here, and we'll put it that way.
Okay.
You wanna, yeah, give this to Becky. She'll help. There's two more. Okay.
Wet.
A little bit. We'll just set this here for a minute. I have the breakdown of the whole cost, okay, on my paper there. I'll let you look at that after I show you some of these things, and then it'll make more sense. Okay, before we go up with this is a 8 by 10, 8 foot this way, 10 foot this way. This is the smallest standard size that they make. They will make you a smaller one if you want it, but I mean, as far as like the standard sizes, this is the smallest one. They go bigger from here. All right. The 10 by 12, which is the next size up, that's actually Becky and I's favorite size if we were staying in it. But this is smaller and more portable, and so we have this one here for our demonstrations. If you're setting it up and taking it down somewhat regularly, you really don't want anything bigger than the 10 by 12. You start getting bigger than that, it just starts getting unwieldy. But I've heard of even like, 20 by 24, 20 by 28, size, so they get huge. If you talk to the people that sell them, they try to sell you the larger sizes because Americans are used to having a lot of space, okay? But the larger, just keep in mind, the larger it is, the harder it's going to be to set up and take down if you're having to move it regularly. So if you're moving it regularly, you want to go with as small as you can. Again, the next size up from this is like the largest size. I mean, I've heard that from another source, and it's definitely been true from our own experience. That's the largest size that you want to have to set up and take down. This is much easier to set up and take down.
The reason we like the 10 by 12 better is because we can put 2 full cots in it and a full-length table in there and the stove. It all fits on. Just when you put 2 cots in there, you really have to put a short table. The longer table doesn't fit. So.